Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Let's be honest. We agree and disagree with people all the time, right? And in English. There are so many ways to do it. Some are polite, some are strong, and some well. Some might start an argument, so today, let's break down the best ways to agree, kind of disagree, or totally disagree without sounding rude. Agreeing is usually the easy part. Right? Someone says something you relate to or believe in, and you can just say yes, absolutely, definitely, or take it up a notch. I completely agree with you. That's so true. You're absolutely right. I couldn't agree more. This means total 100% agreement. Here are a few more attractive ones. You took the words right out of my mouth. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I'm with you on that. That's exactly how I feel. When you somewhat disagree. Now, what if you mostly agree, but not completely? This is where things get more complicated. You want to show that you understand the other person, but you still have a slightly different opinion. Here are some great phrases to use. I see what you mean, but I get where you're coming from, but I understand your point of view. However, that's a fair point, but here is how I see it. I agree with you to an extent, but I think that makes sense. But at the same time, you've got a point. But let me offer another perspective. Examples in action. I see what you mean about working from home, but I actually prefer being in the office. I agree with you up to a point. However, I think we also need to consider the budget. This is great for maintaining a respectful, open conversation, especially in work or academic settings. When you completely disagree, sometimes you just flat out disagree, and that's okay too. Here are some polite and not so polite ways to do it. I don't feel the same way. Actually, I disagree, and not so sure about that. I see it differently. That's not how I see it. I can't say I agree with that. I'm afraid I don't agree with you on that. Using I'm afraid softens the message. I'm afraid I have to disagree. I'm afraid that's not entirely correct. You can also add a touch of formality. Respectfully, I have to disagree. With all due respect, I see things differently. Examples. I'm afraid I don't agree with your analysis of the data. Respectfully, I believe we should take a different approach. And if the conversation is going nowhere or getting a bit tense, you can end it with, let's just agree to disagree. It's a respectful way to move on without continuing the debate.